Hello. I did audio correctly this time. For once in my life. Welcome, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Tuesday Talk. It is Tuesday. It is the 15th of February of 2022. Welcome. I am Chesh. You may know me as V from the Non Sequitur Show. Oh, welcome, 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 welcome. There's been a lot going on, and there's a lot of updates to talk about. There's also a little bit of fun stuff that I want to touch on because I think it's a little bit more fun rather than all the serious stuff we're always on about all the time. I know I'm not muted for once. I actually did it all correctly. Huzzah! Look at me go. So, all right. First off, fun stuff. Futurama's coming back. Futurama is coming back. They're coming back to HBO. So if you are a fan of Futurama, you will be interested in that is a thing that's happening. The other bit is that right now the voice of Bender is currently not signed on. So basically what's gone on from my understanding, I was looking at posts from the voice actor. He was saying that the what's the word? Oh, the voices of Fry, the voice of Leela, have already signed on to come back for more Futurama, and he's basically holding out for more money. He's the voice of Bender is like, no, I don't accept the deal, and so they've come to a standstill. The release is for 2023, but the standstill is that um some sources are saying that HBO doesn't want to pay the voice actor for Bender any more than the voice actor for than like the voice actor for Fry. And there was speculation that the voice actor for Bender was bothered by the other two voice actors taking deals without talking to him, but that seems to have been debunked. Like that seems like that's just a rumor that went around. There actually is no beef between any of them, so which is good. It's nice to know that they're all looking forward to working together. It's just, but the negotiations are still like at a standstill, but not closed. So they are casting to try and find a new Bender, but they're not totally out of negotiations with regular Bender. Um, this has become like a thing that people are calling like Bendergate. And there's like a whole tweet about it. Like a whole tweet chain. To the point that Mark Hamill was retweeting the voice actor of Bender saying he wasn't gonna watch Futurama. It without real Bender, with a fake Bender. So that's funny. I'm looking forward to that. I do think it'd be really funny if Matt Groening and sorry, I've forgotten the other guy's name right now. The creators, because they do have the original creators back for that. The no, this isn't a test. This is regular Tuesday. The other creator had they've already signed on to do it as well, so you do have the original like writers of the show. But it would be really fun if they were able to like maybe have there is a replacement Bender, like depending on how long it takes them to do things. If they have a replacement Bender, but it's like part of the show. So Fry's just like, this isn't Bender, and everybody's like, of course it's Bender, and it's just like it's an off-brand Bender. I thought that would be kind of funny, but I don't know. It depends on what they end up doing and what they end up succeeding with, and hopefully that all works out. To more serious newsy type stuff and things. The trucker stuff has, of course, been updated. The Occupy Ottawa stuff, the Covfefe mandate protests. So Trudeau the Prime Minister of Canada, for those of you who don't know, has initiated something called the Emergency Act. So, for people who don't know what the Emergency Act is, showed up. It was set up and part of our government since 1988. It lasts for 30 days, and it has to reach a high bar of urgent and critical situation, and it has to seriously threaten or endanger the health and safety of people. So he's initiated that. Some criticism has been that, well, this isn't serious enough, and some people have criticized that it's like have said the other and opposite and said no, people our lives are at risk and are being terrorized by the truckers. So that goes, but so you've got people on both sides of that one. This is the first time it's been used in Canadian political history, so it hasn't. This is the first time it's ever actually been implemented. And basically, what it does is it's going to prohibit access and travel. I did see one place posting that, I think it was Globe and Mail, was saying that they could freeze people's bank accounts who were financially supporting the protests, but I wasn't able to confirm that. What I was able to confirm that they can prohibit access and travel and like use of facilities. So if they're at a park, they can close the park. If they're in Ottawa, they can prohibit movement in and out of Ottawa, stuff like that. Pretty standard things when it comes to something like this. And I don't think it's anything that bizarre, particularly when it comes to unlawful protesting, which is what this is escalated to. They've blocked 2 more border crossings. One is at North Dakota and one is at Montana. In Alberta, because this isn't just happening in Ottawa, this is like a cross country thing. So during protests in Alberta, there were 12 people that were arrested. The police were seizing ammo and weapons, and citing that it appeared that they were getting ready to attack police should the police try to like interfere. There was a blockade that happened in Manitoba, but it was allowing any live animal transport to go across, but not anybody else. One of the truckers in that area said that this is where the truckers lost me. I'm not gonna lie. I understand a lot of what their issue is, but you've lost me at this point. When one of the guys said that him and his wife can't visit their 9-year-old daughter who's in the hospital because the restrictions required full vaccinations and they should be allowed to make a choice. If you're choosing not to see your hospitalized child because your choice of vaccination, you are making a choice. You are choosing to not see your child, and I think you're a shitty parent. Like, maybe that's just my take on that, but what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? Also, do you want to be unvaccinated and putting your child at risk? So that had actually nothing to do with what the initial truckers' shtick was. Originally, their shtick was that they did not want to have these vaccine passports, meaning that if they didn't want to have to show vaccination coming in and out of the country for travel because they were truckers that were traveling internationally, right? I disagree with you. I but okay. At least I understand your point, but you lose me at I'm not going to go visit my sick daughter, and I'm choosing to not go visit my sick daughter in the hospital because my 9-year-old, because I don't want to get a vaccination. You lost me there. You've lost my sympathies. The police chief in Ottawa, his name is Peter, is apparently resigning. That is not officially announced yet. That was just through sources I was able to find. Links are down below, by the way, if you're interested in where I'm getting this information. All the links are down below. Then there was a protest that happened out at this was also in Ottawa. There's a memorial for like soldiers with no graves from World War II. And there's video of these protests now. Initially, the memorial was blocked off, like you couldn't get up to it. Well, the protesters tore down the block area. Were taking pictures and videos around it, and some of the videos were what appeared to be um, Nazi salutes. So I don't really know how you're gonna garner sympathy from people when you're gonna go ahead and go to a World War II memorial and start pulling Nazi salutes. Like, no. Video to that is also linked down below if you're interested in watching the video itself. Make up your own mind. But yeah, like I said, you lose people's sympathy when you start, pulling Nazi shit. Um, I remember in the first episode of this, some people were questioning whether or not there was like um, Nazi flags or propaganda, or like what was actually true or not, and whether or not these people were part of if there's like one or two just assholes that had snuck their way in. No, it appears to be like a quintessential part of the movement, in my opinion, but fuck Nazis. Um, there was somebody that I saw noting in that were commenting on this, that were saying that the Republican Party in America has been supporting this. And they had noted that the Republican Party has been voting against truckers and against truckers getting any kind of pension. So that's kind of interesting. Just a side note that maybe the people you think are supporting, you know, maybe, I don't know. I also got a bit of a kick out of, there's a lot of like right wing esque memes going around because Trudeau enacted the Emergency Act, saying that he was basically like he was Hitler and putting Hitler's face on him, and like having the jokes about Putin and stuff, saying that like, oh, and they say we're dictatorships. Yeah, yeah, because these truckers still have choices. Like their choices aren't being removed. It's a limiting of access due to public safety because you're setting off fireworks and committing arson and illegal protesting. So yeah, no. It also, when you're literally doing Nazi salutes and have Nazi flags kicking around, maybe the person telling you to fuck off is not the Nazi. Weird, I know. So that's the updates from that. I'd love to know what everybody thinks. I I don't know what to tell you outside of you're going with armed forces to a protest with the intention of fighting it out with the police. You're gonna get arrested. I don't know why that would be even questioned. Oh, here we go. Everybody said, that's interesting. Okay, so everybody said, my husband, CB Port, director at our Roosevelt, Montana. So that was where the blockade was. And it's a mess, dangerous too. I'm scared for he and us a lot. They carry guns. Yeah, yeah, that's not lawful protest. Shutting that kind of stuff down is kind of what the Emergency Act is for, to prevent dangerous situations and health and safety risks. And you can't deny that at this point, the trucker protesters have demonstrated themselves to be dangerous. When you start calling it an occupation and you start calling it terrorism and you start firing off illegal fireworks, when you start blocking roads and protesting illegally, the there's already a lawsuit which we talked about last week. No new updates on that. That's not until the 16th for that hearing. But there is for anybody who missed last week, there is someone who has there's a class action lawsuit against the truckers, which was the cease and desist they got for the horns blowing, and the things that were being cited were like basically harassment, emotional distress, physical distress because nobody can sleep. Um, I definitely recommend going and I definitely recommend going and checking out that one. That was from last Tuesday. But that seems to be like the biggest update of like sort of things that have happened. Again, you can check out the links below. There's more to be read there. Um, I did see Richard Dawkins. I saw Richard Dawkins tweeting about it, and he said reports are coming in of truck drivers in Canada protesting against the rules of the road mandate, said a spokesperson. It's my right to choose which side of the road I drive on. If I get killed, it's nobody's business but my own. It's a matter of individual liberty. I'm like, I got a kick out of that. That was a little bit funny. Oh, there was also the protesters dressing up slash vandalizing slash putting protest signs on the Terry Fox memorial statue. And so, okay, the reason why that's kind of a slap in the face and why people are a little bit maybe more upset about that is for anybody who is not Canadian and maybe doesn't know who Terry Fox is. He was somebody who suffered from some severe medical conditions, and he was running sans one leg from one end of Canada to the other end of Canada to try and raise money and awareness for medical stuff. And it very so this is without going into too many details. Look up Terry Fox if you're interested. It is a fantastic story. It's very inspirational. But like he was the kind of person that one would be pro vax and two would be dying from covfefe from these people because he would have been medically fragile due to his conditions. So fuck you. Seriously, fuck you, truckers. Don't do shit like that. Like, no. But hey, what do I know? Um, so like I said, links below if you're interested in finding out a little bit more. But so the protesters have ripped down the barriers that were set up at the war memorial. They were up because people were using the memorial as a toilet and jumping off the tomb of the unknown soldier. People who took it down seemed to be a group of veterans. They were called up to the front to stand right at the front of the monument. They then did a prayer where, among other things, they called on the prime minister to drop the vaccine mandate. You might be wondering, where are the troops? Across the street, standing around. So the police were doing nothing about this and were just standing across the road. This is from Mackenzie Gray, Mackenzie Gray's Twitter account, by the way. So they're a journalist with CTV News. So just so you know, kind of have a rough idea of what I'm talking about. So our crew heard the CTV crew heard the same thing that my colleague Abigail did. Abigail is the global national Ottawa correspondent. So more news people. The police told protesters they're in charge of policing the war memorial, so it would make sense the police are just standing around. Yeah, there's video of all this, so if you're curious, you can go and check that out. I'm just double checking, make sure I didn't miss anything. And for anybody again who doesn't know what this memorial is about, the Royal Canadian Legion had tweeted this out just as a reference. So, the National War Memorial is a site of collective remembrance and must be treated with respect. The removal of protective barricades and the reported inaction by those in charge with safeguarding this memorial is deeply disturbing. Those who sacrificed for our freedoms deserve better. So, there's that. Last thing I've got bookmarked was Paul McLeod who is a politics reporter with BuzzFeed, was, I guess, listening in on a meeting between the for the truckers. And I'll just quickly go over what some of that is about. Um, Anti-mandate protesters are holding a Twitter Space emergency meeting in response to the state of emergency. One who was at the Windsor-Detroit border blockade tells a story of how their communications were infiltrated, leading to organizational collapse. Protesters were using Zello, a live communication app. The problem was that counter-protesters were spamming their channels with the gay cowboy anthem Ram Ranch. So they moved to a new channel. The problem was the moderator of the channel turned out to be a double agent. Quote, this person gained our trust. We trusted them as a moderator, end quote. The guy said, traitor, traitor, another person yelled. So like they basically counter protesters got into their space and were just spamming them, which interestingly enough, as upset as they are, is not illegal protesting, isn't defacing any monuments, and isn't terrorizing people. So that feel when the counter protesters are and the people that you're calling Nazis are doing less Nazi-esque things. I mean, arguably, what's the more fascist thing here? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, that's about it from me for today. I think I've been pretty clear about where I stand. Can I get a fuck Nazis in the chat, please? Because fuck Nazis. But yes, Ash Scott is right. They got outplayed. I will be live later tonight to talk about kind of behind the scenes of Dinosaur Adventureland with Kent Hovind and some of the like horrific nonsense that has gone over there at that compound with Kent Hovind's ex-wife Cindy Lincoln. That will be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so that is in 3.5 hours over on the Non Sequitur Show. Please feel free to come and join us over there, as well as if you guys want to join the discussion, the Non Sequitur Show Discord is officially open. Link is in the description down below. Feel free to join us. We were talking about this yesterday, so if you're interested, please feel free to join us. I'm going to get on out of here, and fuck Nazis. Bye.